Hello everyone, welcome to Karthikeya IAS Academy. In today's class, we'll learn about the rivers in South America. In the earlier classes, we have learned about the important rivers in Africa. Now we'll learn about the important rivers in South America. Rivers in South America. Here I have mentioned only few rivers. As I have already told you, now we are going to discuss only about the major rivers. In the minor section, again, we will start a new series where we will be covering about the minor rivers in the world. Okay. So in this part, we are going to learn about the rivers Amazon, Sao Francisco, Paraguay, and Parana. So let's start with the first river, Amazon. So this is the picture of the river Amazon. If you can see here, it is a very large river where it has many tributaries. So here it has many tributaries which span in many of the countries. It's not just flowing through one or two countries, it's passing through many countries. It is the largest river. Okay. There is always some contradictions between the Nile River and the Amazon River. Okay. Generally, it is considered that Nile is the longest river and only a small difference is there between the Nile and the Amazon River. So the Nile is considered to be the longest river. Okay. But few still don't accept this and they still say that Amazon is the longest river. Now, if you see the area, if you see the catchment area, then Amazon is considered to be the largest river. Okay. If you see the length, then Nile is considered to be the longest river. And if you see the catchment area or the river basin, then Amazon is considered as the largest river. Okay. Now, if you see here, we can say that Amazon is the second longest river in the world after Nile, and it is the largest river in the South America. Now, if you see how much it spans, see here how much area it is covering in the continent. Nearly it spans to 2/5 of the South American continent. Okay. So, it is occupying nearly 2/5 of the South American continent. So, what are the countries through which it passes or where it is? The drainage system of this river is. Okay, if you see the watershed spans into Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Bolivia. So the watershed of this river spans in these countries, these 6 countries. Okay. So we have finished with the size of the river. We have finished with the countries through which it is passing. So what is the other important thing which we have to learn about this river? We have to learn about the source of the river and where it is going to drain. Okay. So let's see about the source of the river. So the source of the river is Apurímac river drainage system. Okay. Again, there are many contradictions regarding this source of the river. Okay. So you can say it is as Apurímac river drainage system. And where it is draining, where does it drain? It drains into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so you can see here, right from here, it is starting somewhere around in the Peru and it flows all the way into the Atlantic Ocean. So where it is going to drain? It is draining in the Atlantic Ocean. As I have told you, if you see here, there are many tributaries to this river. It means a lot of fresh water is carried into this river and it goes and flows into the Atlantic Ocean. It means that a huge amount of fresh water is going into the Atlantic Ocean. So it accounts to 1/5 of total volume of fresh water which is added into the oceans globally. Okay, total volume of fresh water. We know that many freshwater rivers, they'll be adding the water into the oceans. So here, if you see the whole amount of water which is entering globally, only this river Amazon is accounting for 1/5 of the total volume. Okay, which are entering the oceans globally. Now if you see what happens when this much amount of fresh water is coming, okay, so this water near the coast, the salinity will be reducing because a lot of fresh water is adding up. The salinity percentage which is there in the water, generally how the water in the oceans will be, they'll be salty, the salinity will be more, but as continuously a lot of fresh water is being added up to few kilometers, you will see that the salinity is very less. Okay, see here, it is adding a lot of fresh water here. So what happens here in this region, if you find, the salinity will be very less because a lot of fresh water is being added continuously into the ocean. And if you see here, you cannot find a proper delta. Okay, if you see here, you cannot find a proper delta here. It means that the river Amazon, it doesn't have a true delta. What is delta? We have already discussed in the previous classes that a triangular shape is formed by the distributaries of the river. When the distributaries will be forming a fan-like structure, it will be creating a delta at the mouth of the river. Where it is joining with the ocean, it will be bringing a lot of silt with it along with the water. Okay, along with the water, it is even carrying a lot of silt. So here it will be forming a delta. But here in the case of Amazon River, there is no true delta. Delta is not formed here. What is the reason why the delta is not formed here? Because of the tidal bore. Okay, because of the tidal bore, the ocean carries away the silt. What happens here? The ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the ocean is carrying away. It carries away the silt. When the silt which is deposited, which is actually meant to be deposited near the coast, it is being carried by the ocean. So there is no silt deposited. When there is no silt deposited, it cannot form a delta. So we can say that there is no true delta for the Amazon River. Okay, now who discovered this river? It doesn't mean that there wasn't the river which is not known to the people. It is known, but the name, how it came, and who discovered it first. This river is discovered by Francisco de Orellana. Okay, Francisco de Orellana in the year 1541. Here, this person had war with the tribals. Okay, అక్కడ ట్రైబల్స్ అండ్ ఇతనికి మధ్యన కొన్ని గొడవలు అనేవి జరిగాయి. ఆ గొడవలు అవి జరిగినప్పుడు ఏమైంది, దిస్ శాన్ ఫ్రాన్స్ లైక్ ద పీపుల్ ఇన్ దాట్ రీజియన్, ఓకే, ద ఒరిజినల్ పీపుల్ హూ యూస్ టు బి ద ట్రైబల్స్, దేర్ ఫీమేల్ డైటీ, ఎవరైతే ఫీమేల్ డైటీ ఉంటారో, ఓకే, ఆ ఫీమేల్ డైటీ తాలూకా నేమ్ ఈజ్ అమెజాన్. From the, like, this Amazon name came from that female deity of that tribals. Why actually it came? Because there, when there is any actual war, even the female used to accompany the men in the fighting. ఓకే, సో అక్కడ ఆడవాళ్ళు కూడా మగవాళ్ళకి తోడుగా వెళ్ళేవారు. ఏమైనా యుద్ధాలు అవి జరుగుతూ ఉన్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళ ఫీమేల్ డైటీ నుంచి వచ్చిన పేరే ఈ అమెజాన్ రివర్ అన్నది. ఓకే, నౌ సో మనం ఏం చూసాం, ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కడెక్కడి నుంచి పాస్ అయిందో చూసాం రివర్, దాని మౌత్ దగ్గర ఏం జరిగింది, ఎందుకంటే డెల్టా ఫామ్ అవ్వలేదు అనేది చూసాం, ఏ కంట్రీస్ నుంచి పాస్ అయింది, ఎంత అమౌంట్ అనేది అయింది అన్నది చూసాం, ఎవరు ఆ నేమ్ని, లైక్ ఎవరు ఎవరు డిస్కవర్ చేశారు ఈ రివర్ని, ఆ నేమ్ అన్నది ఎలా వచ్చింది, అవన్నీ కూడా మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాం. సో ద మెయిన్ థింగ్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డిస్కస్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ బయోడైవర్సిటీ వి ఫైండ్ ఇన్ దాట్ రీజన్. ఎటువంటి బయోడైవర్సిటీ, ఎటువంటి లైక్ యానిమల్స్ తీసుకోండి, ప్లాంట్స్ తీసుకోండి, ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఫారెస్ట్స్ అక్కడ ఉంటాయి. సో లెట్స్ సీ అబౌట్ ద బయోడైవర్సిటీ. సో ఇఫ్ యు సీ ద బయోడైవర్సిటీ, it is tropical rainforest. Okay, if you see, because we know that most of the region is near to the equator and even the equator passes through it, so most of the region is tropical. The area which is above and below near to the equator, we call them as tropical region. Okay, so this whole part comes under that, so we call it as tropical rainforest. Now which kind of animals we generally find in that region? కొన్ని ఇంపార్టెంట్ నేమ్స్ తెలుసుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది. ఓకే, ఆరినోకో, బోటో, Now again, what is this Boto? This is Amazon river dolphin. Okay, this Boto is the name of Amazon river dolphin. Okay, now if you see here, this is the largest river dolphin. This is the largest river dolphin. This Boto is the Amazon river dolphin and it is the largest among the river dolphins. This is going to be the largest one. Now, what are the other kind of animals we can find them? Piranhas. So why these are important, piranhas? Because these are carnivorous fish. These are carnivorous fish. What does it means? They will be traveling in large school. A group of fish, we call them as schools. Okay, they'll be traveling in large schools. What do they do? At a whole, they'll be attacking any of the creature they want. Okay, sorry, group ka వెళ్ళి school అంటే ఏంటంటే group of fish వెళ్తే దాన్ని మనం school అంటాం. Okay, so this school of fish, they will be attacking any animal because ఒకేసారి అవి కార్నివోర్ షార్ప్ టీత్ ఉంటాయి, ఒకేసారి యానిమల్ అటాక్ చేస్తాయి. అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్ సమ్ కేసెస్ దే అటాక్ ద హ్యూమన్స్. ఇట్స్ నాట్ లైక్ ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ దే అటాక్, బట్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఛాన్స్ దట్ ఈవెన్ దే మే అటాక్. ఆన్ ద హోల్ ఒకేసారి మనల్ని వాళ్ళు ఏం హామ్ చేయలేకపోయినా కాళ్ళు, చేతులు, వేళ్ళు, ఇలా ఫింగర్స్, పర్టికులర్ పార్ట్ దే విల్ బి అటాకింగ్ అండ్ దే విల్ బి బైటింగ్. సో డెఫినెట్లీ ఈవెన్ ద piranhas are risky for the humans. Okay, what is the other animal which is very much significant or abundant in this Amazon area? This is anaconda. Anaconda is one of the largest snake species. It is also available abundantly in this region. Now we are done with the animals which are found in the Amazon river. Let's see about the threats or the ecological concerns regarding this area. So what are the threats or the ecological concern? The main concern is because of the deforestation. What is the threat there? Deforestation of the Amazon rainforest. So what happens here? How it is related to the river and the rainforest? If we are deforesting in the Amazon rainforest, then how it will be affecting the river? So what happens here when you are doing deforestation? The rate of evapotranspiration will be affected. What happens here? There will be reduction in the rate of evapotranspiration. So what happens? ఎప్పుడైతే evapotranspiration తగ్గిపోతుందో అప్పుడు ఏం జరుగుతుంది? మనకి హైడ్రోలాజికల్ సైకిల్ అన్నది మనకి ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. హైడ్రోలాజికల్ సైకిల్ అంటే ఏంటి? వాటర్ సైకిల్. జనరల్గా మనకి ఏమవుతుంది? ఎప్పుడైతే వర్షం పడుతుందో ఇట్ విల్ బి అక్యుములేటెడ్ ఇన్ ద వాటర్ బాడీస్. వర్షం అంతా అదంతా మళ్ళీ ఎవాపరేట్ అయ్యి పైకి వెళ్తుంది. పైకి వెళ్ళి క్లౌడ్స్ లా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది మనకి. అగైన్ దే విల్ బి కండెన్సేషన్ అయిన తర్వాత ఏమవుతుంది? మళ్ళీ కిందకి అది మనకి వాటర్ ఫామ్ లో వస్తుంది. సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనకి ఈ వాటర్ సైకిల్ అన్నది ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద డిఫారెస్టేషన్ అని చెప్తున్నారు. ఓకే, సో వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ హియర్? One thing is hydrological cycle will be affected and the other thing is recycling of new soil nutrients also will be affected. చెట్లు ఉంటేనే కదా సాయిల్ ని పట్టుకొని ఉంటుంది. The roots will be holding tightly, but here the soil will be lost with the rainwater because there are no trees to hold the soil. So the recycling of soil nutrients will also be affected. So these are the two major concerns. So what happens here? What happens if the hydrological cycle is affected? What happens here? Here, the amount of the water runoff, amount of water running off, it will be affected. Okay, it will be increased, the water runoff, because there is nothing where the soil will be observing, because the soil is also washed off because of the rainwater as there are no trees. So there will be nothing to absorb the water. The whole water which will come in the form of rain will be run off. And even the river levels, water levels in the river, they will be increasing. This is how the rivers are affected. Okay, here the water levels in the rivers are increased, so thereby it will be resulting in the climate change, wildfires. These are the concerns or the threats. Okay, and unpredictable రెయిన్ఫాల్. మనకి ఎప్పుడు రెగ్యులర్గా ఏ విధంగా అయితే ఏ సీజన్లో రెయిన్ఫాల్ పడుతుందో అది మనకు కాకుండా అన్ప్రిడిక్టబుల్ రెయిన్ఫాల్ అన్న జరుగుతుంది. ఎప్పుడు వర్షం పడుతుందో కూడా మనం చెప్పలేము, లేదా వర్షం అనేది పడకపోవడం కూడా జరగచ్చు. అండ్ ఈవెన్ దే మే రిజల్ట్ ఇన్ డ్రాట్స్. దీస్ ఆర్ ద క్లైమాటిక్ threats or the concerns where we may face because of the deforestation. Okay, so these are the threats in the Amazon River region, because it's not just passing through a single country, it is occupying a lot of land while it is traveling. So, which kind of climate is there? We have seen about the threats and concerns. So, which kind of climate is there in the river area? The climate will be generally warm, rainy, and humid. Now, if you see here, the northern part of the river, if you see the northern part of the river, there you can find the length of the day and night are equal. Where we generally find this kind of climate, where the length of the day and night are equal, generally we find them on the equator. Equator మీద మనకి ఎప్పుడు కూడా డే 12 hours నైట్ 12 hours కనిపిస్తుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఈక్వేటర్ పాస్ అయి వెళ్తుంది కాబట్టి అక్కడ మనకి లెంత్ ఏదైతే డే అండ్ నైట్ ఉందో దాని లెంత్ కూడా ఈక్వల్ గా ఉంటాయి. జనరల్ వేర్ డు వి ఫైండ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ద నార్త్ ఆఫ్ ద రివర్, not the whole river catchment area, only in the north of the river we generally find this 12 hours. Okay, so here you can see there will be a great difference between the daytime and the midnight temperature. There is a great difference between the mid time, ఏదైతే మార్నింగ్ మనకు ఉంటుందో అది and midnight temperature. Okay, day and midnight temperature, there will be a lot of variation between that. Okay, జనరల్ గా మనకి సమ్మర్ అండ్ వింటర్ మధ్య ఉన్న వేరియేషన్ కంటే ఆ ఏరియాలో మనకి మార్నింగ్ అండ్ నైట్ మధ్య ఉన్న వేరియేషన్ చాలా ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. అంటే నైట్ అయ్యేటప్పటికి ఫుల్ వింటర్ టైప్ లో చిల్లింగ్ గా ఉంటుంది అక్కడ. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ దిస్ ఇస్ అబౌట్ ద క్లైమేట్. నౌ యూ కెన్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ఇస్ అనదర్ క్వశ్చన్, దట్ ఈస్ ఇఫ్ యూ learn about the rivers, particularly when we learn about the rivers in India, we have to learn the important cities which are on the bank of the river. So if you see about the Amazon River, Manas is an important city. Okay, this is an important, and it is the largest city which is located on the banks of Amazon River. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. And as I have already told you that we are going to discuss only about the major rivers in this series. So in the other series we even have to learn about few of the tributaries of Amazon. Even they are important, like the Negro. You can see here I am mentioning in the map. Madeira, Tocantins. Okay, these are some of the important rivers, important tributaries. Madre de Dios, like which add more number of more amount of water to the river. Purus, this is also an important tributary. If you have to learn about the tributaries, you have to remember these names. Orinoco is also an important tributary. Okay, so these are some of the important tributaries of Amazon River. We'll separately learn about them in the minor rivers of the world. Okay, thank you.